Hey, what's good, everyone? So, today I want to talk about some shit that could have gotten me, like, legit in deep shit, like, really in trouble, and I'm glad I didn't, and I'm glad I kind of got away from this crowd of people. But it was a really close call, and it was crazy as fuck, and I want to talk about it. Now, when I was younger, I'd say from 15 to 16 years old, I had this group of friends that were pretty shitty people. Like, I knew they were kind of, like, horrible kids. Like, I had a feeling in the back of my head that they were bad kids. But they had their moments, where they were cool. So I was like, all right, well, maybe I'm just, judging them too quick, right? And I'd say about the second month into knowing them, when this shit went down, I knew that they were not good and bad news. So it was a normal day for me, right? I went to school. I hung out with them at the beginning of school at, like, the breakfast table thing. Went to class, got through all my classes that day. And at the end of the day, I met up with them outside of school, and instead of taking the bus home, I decided to get in my friend's car. So it was pretty much all of us in this car, right? It was the one that was driving. He was the oldest out of all of us, and then the rest of us. So in total, it was me, the driver, and 3 other people. And when we leave school and start driving, I realize I have no fucking clue where he's taking us. I have no idea where we're going at all, just really confused. And I thought we were maybe going to go, like, across the street and get food at the burger place, but we didn't go there, and we kept driving past it. So I asked, I was like, hey, where are we going? He's like, oh, just my cousin's, man, don't worry. And I was like, all right, well, where's that? And he tells me where it is, and it's pretty close. So I was like, all right, well, that's fine, but we have no room in the car. Like, we already have 5 people in here. And he's like, oh, I'm not picking him up. I'm just grabbing something from his house that I need. And I was like, okay. So I was like, all right, cool. We have a plan, right? And he's just driving. I'm looking out the window in the back seat, looking at stuff passing by. And then finally, we get to the street. And this fucker goes into straight up, like, creep mode. Like, weird. And I immediately knew something was up. He was, like, sneaking down the street, going real slow. He finally found the house, stopped, kind of, like, scoped it out. It was so weird. And I was like, yo, are you sure this is the right house? He's like, yeah, this is it. And I was like, is no one home? Because no one really looked like they were home. He's like, I don't know, but I have a key. And he grabs his backpack and he jumps out of the car, right? And I get out too behind him and I start walking up the driveway with him. And the others obviously jump out of the car and follow us up. We get to the front door and my friend tries to open it without a key. And I literally said, I was like, dude, it's not going to fucking open. No one's home. They obviously locked it. And he goes, God damn it, follow me. And he runs around to the side of the house. And I was like, this is fucking weird. I'm having a bad feeling, right? Like, I feel like these are the type of kids my parents warned me about in high school. Like, those kind of kids that, like, pour the milk first, like those motherfuckers. So I follow him to the side of the house. I run back there. And I see him, no joke, kicking at the fucking back door. And right when I saw this, I knew it wasn't his cousin's house. Like, if you go to a family member's house, like, you open the door by knocking or opening it with a key, right? This motherfucker is kicking the door violently like the door threatened his family or some shit. And it was to the back door, too, so he was clearly trying to hide doing this by going to the back and doing it. So I was like, this isn't your fucking cousin's house, is it? And he was like, no, and he giggled. I was like, so whose house is this? And he said the person's name, and obviously I'm not going to repeat it on a video. But I shared a class with this kid, and I knew him, and I also knew that he had a problem with my friend at the time. And my friend was actually trying to, like, break into his door and, like, fuck up his house and probably try and steal stuff. All because of, like, stupid, petty-ass high school beef. Now, right after I found out it wasn't his cousin's house, I need to stop calling him my friend, too, because, like, he's obviously not my friend after this shit. I start walking, because I was like, you know what? Fuck you, dude. You're a cocksucker. And I start walking the other way. And he's like, you're really that much of a pussy? And I was like, just open your car. And he unlocked it. I fucking get my backpack out, and I start walking. And keep in mind, this entire time, I was the only one who said shit. Everyone else was silent. Like, no one else said a single thing, besides the dickhead I was arguing with. But anyway, I grab my backpack, I start walking, and one of my friends actually runs over to me and starts walking back with me. He was like one of the only ones out of everyone that wasn't a fucking dumbass and a scumbag and had some sense. So we walk back to my house, and I start freaking out because I have no idea what to do. Like, I basically got tricked into almost doing something really fucked up. And I was glad I got out of it when I did, but still, it's pretty shitty to be tricked into something like that. Or almost tricked, I don't know. And my friend who was with me, the only cool one out of that friend group that wasn't a complete fucking dick, he was freaking out pretty bad too, because he was scared that they were going to get caught and then they were going to try and, like, throw him under the bus, even though he had no business or anything to do with it. It's still a pretty valid reason to be nervous, right? Anyway, the rest of that night goes by pretty much. It was like a good 2 to 3 hours of just hanging out at my house, and we were about to go to bed. My friend was on his phone on Facebook, and he goes, yo, look at this. And he shows me his phone, and it's a status from the dickhead, the one who basically tricked us. He posted saying, like, so blessed to have such a supportive family, and, I fucked up, blah, blah, blah. And as I'm reading, he basically straight up admitted to what he did, talked about how he got caught. I guess the mother of the house that he was trying to break into pulled in and saw him looking in his car for something to try and, like, break a window with. And of course, she screamed at him, and then she followed him back there to where the rest of the dudes are, trying to get into the door. And they all got caught pretty much and fucking busted. Now he's lucky that this lady that owned the house he was trying to break into was so cool about it, because apparently she let everyone off the hook. Well, obviously not completely off the hook. Like, she called the school and like all the parents and shit. But like police and stuff, like she didn't try and like, get charges or anything. But yeah, Mr. Scumbag, aka the driver, or the one that like tricked us all, he posted this big Facebook thing about it. He explained the entire thing and like how he got caught and just every little detail. And I don't know why he did. But even though this kid's a fucking dickhead and just such a piece of shit for trying this in the first place, he completely left us out of the Facebook post and didn't say that he was with us or anything like that. And I'm glad he did, because we really weren't involved at all. We weren't supposed to even be there. I had no idea that he was lying in the first place, until I obviously found out when we got to the house, but then I was gone. But yeah, anyway, after that I stopped being friends with all them, except the one that was cool and, you know, came back home with me and was just super chill throughout the whole thing. But I don't talk to them anymore. Not really the funniest story. It was just kind of more of a serious one. I'm glad I got out of that friend group / like crowd of people when I did, because I'm not a scumbag that needs to steal from people to make money and to like get back at people with beef. Like, it's just stupid. There's so many cooler ways to make money. Like, dude, make a bake sale, bro. Like, sell cookies. That shit's hard as fuck. I'm about to start my own bake sale. That's how you fucking do it. Okay, obviously I'm fucking joking, but that's pretty much the end, and I don't really talk to them too much anymore, obviously. One of them I still do. He was the cool one, but the rest of the dickheads, they're gone. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much the end. I hope you guys enjoyed this story. Pretty serious one. Please leave a like if you guys want to hear more like serious type of stories. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Peace.
Straight. My boss is a fucking bitch. Matter of fact, you can tell that hoe I fucking quit. I just got $1 for a raise. What the fuck is this? I can make more money on the train.